This video was originally planning to cover Helium-3 mining startups. In researching updates of these companies, I found that one company in particular, Interlune, has made a lot of progress, signed contracts and built hardware, so this video will exclusively be on Interlune, with a future video covering the other Helium-3 mining companies at a later date. Hey everyone, quick thing before we dive in. Join my weekly live stream this Saturday. It's a community of space nerds discussing the news about space startups, including rocket launch companies, the orbital economy, and lunar development. I recap all my videos this week, reading out some of the best comments from viewers and answering chat messages. Ask me anything on any space topic, or just chat amongst yourselves about the latest space happenings. So drop your comment right after watching this video, and I'll see you this weekend for the full recap and live Q&A. Find the live stream link in the pinned comment below. Okay, before we get into Interlune specifically, let's first answer the question of why mine Helium-3 on the Moon. The short answer is Helium-3 is both incredibly rare on Earth and has properties making it either superior to other materials or irreplaceable in some cases. Unlike Earth, which is protected by its magnetic field, the Moon contains large quantities of Helium-3 deposited by the solar wind, as demonstrated by Apollo missions in the 70s. Most viewers may think Helium-3 is only useful as a fuel for a nuclear fusion reactor. It's true, powering a fusion reactor with Helium-3 and deuterium produces far fewer neutrons while generating more power, making Helium-3 the perfect fuel for a fusion reactor. But that's not the only, or indeed the main reason to extract Helium-3 on the Moon for sale on Earth. In fact, the main business driver is quantum computing. In order for these systems to work, atoms need to be brought to almost a standstill, which requires near absolute zero temperature, or as close as it's possible to get. Specialized dilution refrigerators are used that require a coolant consisting of Helium-3. Without Helium-3, the quantum computers run too hot and become useless. Customers will pay almost any price to get their hands on the incredible scarce Helium-3. Other uses include lung MRI scans and neutron detectors. While alternatives exist, Helium-3 is superior, and when you're trying to detect weapons of mass destruction, you want to use the most sensitive detector you can get. Those detectors are powered by Helium-3. One issue to note is that Helium-3 is only present in lunar soil at trace amounts, meaning vast amounts of regolith need to be processed to make the operation commercially viable. Likely billions of tons of material will need to be excavated. Helium-3 is concentrated in the top layers of lunar soil, so extraction focuses on the near-surface material. So now we know there are customers waiting on Earth for supplies of Helium-3 who are ready to pay today for shipments from the Moon. Let's now look at Interlune, their hardware, technology, and progress so far. Interlune, the company, funding, and progress. Interlune, a startup based in Seattle, was founded in 2020, but remained low profile until a funding announcement in 2024. The Interlune team, including a number of space veterans, including Rob Mayerson, the former president of Blue Origin, along with Gary Lai, Blue Origin's former chief architect. After an initial $18 million in seed funding, Interlune secured multiple government technology and business grants. By taking advantage of NASA's new high-cadence robotic lunar lander missions, Interlune can demonstrate its technology on the Moon while iterating towards a commercial service. NASA plans 30 landings in the next 3 years. That's almost a lunar landing every month. Interlune simply needs to align its technology demo payloads with NASA's goals to get a free ride to the Moon. Interlune plans to use a robotic harvester to automate the task of mining and processing lunar soil. According to Gary Lai, the quantum market was the critical piece of the business case. If you had Helium-3 today, the customers would buy it at $20 million a kilogram, in quantities large enough to make a profit, unquote. In the early days, Interlune is expected to return up to 20 kilos of Helium-3, so the revenue for quantum applications could be up to $400 million. This small amount won't alter market prices. Demand is going up as quantum computing companies are growing rapidly. Currently, Interlune's primary focus is on extracting Helium-3, but the company has plans to expand its operations to include other valuable resources like industrial metals, rare earth elements, and water. Recently, NASA pivoted to a phased approach for its moon base. A slide from their ignition presentation on in-situ resource utilization lists key commodities from regolith, or lunar soil, as oxygen, water, rare earth elements, and hydrogen. Interlune's harvesting system is simple: excavate, sort, extract, and finally separate. Their excavation machine can process 100 metric tons per hour. They developed a low-power extraction process to remove the volatiles from the bulk material. Back on Earth, they have technology that can separate out the ultra-valuable helium-3 from helium-4 and other light volatiles such as hydrogen. Interlune is currently developing their own cislunar spacecraft and return capsule. It's worth noting NASA has expressed interest in missions that can return payloads from the lunar surface back to Earth. From a recent blog post on Interlune website, at Interlune, our mission is clear: to lead the world in the sustainable and responsible harvesting of natural resources from space. While we are starting with helium-3, a resource so rare on Earth it commands up to $20 million per kilogram, our vision extends far beyond a single isotope to include the propellants needed to refuel rockets, the metal and rare earths needed to build spacecraft, and even using moon dirt itself to build landing pads, berms, and protective structures for NASA's Artemis moon base, unquote. Interlune has been busy teaming up with a number of other companies to help them with their goal of helium-3 mining. Let's look at these partnerships next. Interlune and Astrolab. Interlune is teaming up with Astrolab to integrate their lunar excavation technology into Astrolab's FLEX rover. Interlune previously announced their plan to fly a multispectrum camera on Astrolab's smaller rover called FLIP, Vermeer Lunar Excavation Machine. Interlune is partnering with Vermeer, a manufacturer of industrial equipment, to develop a high-volume, continuous excavation vehicle to support lunar resource extraction, with help from the Colorado School of Mines to reduce tractive force, power consumption, and dust compared to traditional trench digging techniques. Last year, they showed a full-scale prototype of the Interlune Excavator, a machine designed to ingest 100 metric tons of lunar soil per hour and return it to the surface in a continuous motion. The Excavator is the first product resulting from this joint development agreement, with the companies planning to continue exploring other Earth equipment and technology that could be repurposed for use on the Moon. Let's look at some contracts Interlune has won for delivery of lunar helium-3 for terrestrial uses. Maybell Quantum. Interlune signed a commercial contract with Maybell Quantum to provide thousands of litres of helium-3 for yearly delivery between 2029 and 2035. The helium-3 is to be used in Maybell's dilution refrigerators, which cool quantum computing devices to near absolute zero. The CEO of Maybell Quantum believes that helium-3 will fuel a transformation in computing. In the coming years, hundreds of quantum computers worldwide will need extreme cooling to function without overheating. In addition to that contract, Interlune also won a contract with the US Department of Energy to deliver 3 litres of lunar helium-3 to them by April 2029. Under the terms of the agreement, the helium-3 will be purchased at approximately today's commercial market price. Interlune's CEO, Rob Mayerson, stated they will probably return more than 3 litres for the first delivery. Bluefors and Interlune. Bluefors, a world leader in cryogenic cooling systems for quantum technology, has agreed to purchase up to 10,000 litres of helium-3 from Interlune annually for delivery from 2028 to 2037. Bluefors has delivered over 1,500 dilution refrigerators and more than 15,000 cryocoolers to date. This collaboration will strengthen the entire industry by securing a stable and scalable supply of critical resources for quantum computing. Upcoming events. Interlune plans to send a multispectral camera on a lunar mission called Crescent Moon. This was scheduled for 2025, but has now slipped to summer 2026. The Interlune payload will be on board Astrolab's FLIP rover and will launch on Astrobotic's Griffin 1 lunar lander. The next mission, named Prospect Moon, is scheduled for 2027 and will be an extraction demo, The lander will set down in an area believed to have high concentrations of helium-3. This mission will test out an advanced suite of sensors and validate extracting lunar soil containing helium-3 to prove Interlune's excavation method works on the Moon. In 2028, their Harvest Moon mission will be an end-to-end extraction and return to Earth mission for the US Department of Energy. What do you think of Interlune's plans for extracting helium-3 from the Moon and returning it back to Earth for sale? Do you think helium-3 prospecting will be a commercially viable business? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this space video, consider buying me a coffee to help fund more episodes like this. The link is in the description. Watch the weekly live stream to see the images, clips and slides from this week's videos. It's a live Q&A on this week's space topics where I read out some of the best comments. The more people join, the more fun the live stream is. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.